Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day. As we say, if you're working 9 to 5, you're halfway, or going to school, you're halfway to the weekend. So those of us that work 24/7, 7 days a week, doesn't make much difference. Let me see how we're doing here on check audio on X. Looks like that's working. Welcome, everyone. If you're listening live on YouTube or X, appreciate you being here a little earlier than I have been coming here the last little while. But anyway, interesting day today. Market opens in 4 minutes. So thought I'd jump in a little earlier today. Getting ready to do some traveling. So I may be coming at you from the road, or probably not tomorrow, but in the next day or two, I'll be doing some traveling. But right now, we've got things looking pretty good on a kind of an extension. Trump came in yesterday and at the behest, he says, of Pakistan, who's trying to kind of get in the middle and help get this thing sorted and keep the peace, keep this ceasefire, which runs out officially today. But Trump gave it a little bit of an extension to try and bring everything together. Market took it quite well, I would say. Right now, NASDAQ futures up 0.72, Dow futures up 0.55, S&P futures up 0.56. So markets took it really well. Bitcoin, man, crypto markets absolutely ripping on the news. Bitcoin 78,421, up a whopping 3.2%. Crazy. So yeah, took it very, very well. Ethereum 2,409. Remember, I think the Tuesday or one or two Tuesdays before the war started, we were down around 1800s looking for any catalyst. Couldn't find one. But we were also oversold to the massive. The RSIs were massively oversold. So XRP, $1.45.4. Up 1.5%. So not as much, but doesn't follow. XRP doesn't follow the other majors exactly. Usually pumps and dumps a little harder, or has a little more volatility, but today a little less, which is okay. Solana 88.75, 3.9%. So man, crypto market's doing awesome. We'll look at some of the news behind it. But like I say, the main factor, we are in earnings season too. I'm not going to really talk too much about it, but we are in earnings season. I think like Tesla reports today. I think Boeing reported today or yesterday. So we are in earnings season. So keep that in mind. That can have a little bit of effect on the TradFi, which of course can affect risk assets, which Bitcoin is being treated as right now. But look at some of the news that's kind of shaping today's things. Here's from our boy Mario. 2 key takeaways from Axios reporting on Trump's thinking. Number one, Trump will not resume the war until every diplomatic option has been exhausted and the ceasefire extension is not open-ended. Iran really has days, not weeks so much. So, this is it's short term. So I don't want to get too bullish on crypto and anything yet. Though, it's doing awesome. We still have this looming war. And both sides still seem to be pretty far off. You've seen some of my videos where looks like we lost a connection here. Let's get it back here. Let's come back here. Okay. Anyway, you see me talk a lot about CoinZoom, of which the fund is an early, we're one of their first investors early on. Very few investors, mostly just privately held, very closely held, very few investors really. But I was a customer for several years, stirred on by the fact that I haven't earned fiat in about 10 plus years. So I needed a way to spend crypto, and they have by far and wide the best crypto card out there. And then wound up investing and I've been using it exclusively. I've almost worn my card out, but it's a U.S. regulated exchange. In my opinion, the best U.S. exchange. Has never gone down on me like Coinbase always used to. Hasn't recently, but man, back in the day, you got $1,000 jump or dump and you got frozen out. But they're doing a lot better job now, of course. But anyway, CoinZoom, they have a reward token that you can use to save money on your fees, and also you get rewarded when you use their debit cards to spend money. So, like I say, their debit card accepted anywhere Visa is accepted, and they can issue cards in 152 countries. They have customers in 202 countries. Anyway, it's probably the least known of the 7 U.S. Regulated exchanges, but it's the only one with a token. So I've always thought that long term, that presents quite a good investment opportunity, potentially, not financial advice. Obviously, I'm not a good, third party since I am heavily invested in it. I'm not probably the best one to get, but I would just say take a look at it yourself, see what you think. It's a great exchange. It's great. I push it hard because I think everybody should be using a debit or credit card of some type and, earning free tokens. Like I hold so many Zoom tokens now that I take my Zoom token and switch them for when I get paid 5% on everything I spend. I take it and I buy Bitcoin with it. But anyway, it is on MEXC. We've never been on any third-party exchanges. Last night at about midnight, got listed on MEXC. It's up a little bit, but it's more importantly, it makes it easier. Right now, the only way is you go to the App Store, download it, use the app. That's the only way really to buy it. Now add to that MEXC, and it's good because that's another way to buy it. We'll be getting on 3 or 4 other exchanges at least this year. Make it easier for people, eventually bring more liquidity, get some traders trading the token. But I don't know. I personally feel like it has a lot of upside. Market, it's a 600 million fixed supply, fully out there. Excuse me, only sitting at about a 10 million market cap. So company's worth 10 times that. So anyway, I think that it's something to take a look at. But anyway, glad that we could finally get on another exchange. First step in getting it become more known and help the tokens be more accessible to people. So check it out. Either download the app at the App Store or go buy some, check out the tokens. There's also, if you're outside the United States, there's some airdrops and different ways. I think they got about $70,000 in giveaways they're doing. So go check that out. New twist here. I saw this for the first time today. Iran and the IRGC threatening the underground cables that go through the Straits of Hormuz. Basically threatening to sabotage those. This according to Mario Nafal, I saw this later and put this up, but 7 major undersea cables pass through the strait. Over 95% of global internet traffic for e-commerce, cloud services, and communication run through those cables. The report describes state as vulnerable point for the digital economy of Gulf countries. Similar cables in the Red Sea have already been disrupted during the conflict. So anyway, a new wrinkle. Hey, GM Verse, good to see you, man. Verse, longtime friend, flew out last year and joined me at the Bitcoin conference in Vegas, and we actually took the founders, Todd and Ben Crossland, took him to the Wynn Buffet, my wife and Verse. Kev for King, our other buddy, other co-host of GM Bitcoin Morning Show, is going to join us, but his flight got delayed out of LA, so as they often do. But anyway, so new vulnerability point here, new threats getting thrown out. These underground cables could potentially be sabotaged. How much nicer to have Elon and all his satellites with the Starlink. I'm an avid Starlink supporter and user. So Bitcoin hit its 30-day high. That's important. Very important milestone. Like I said, I'm not getting too bullish right now just because we have this war. We've responded extremely great today. But keep in mind, this war is still hanging over us. So Iran talking tough, said this naval blockade equivalent to an active war and must be met with force. I don't know exactly what force that is, but nonetheless, we don't want these bombs to fly. The good thing through all this talk back and forth, all the propaganda, all the media war, all the social media war, all this talk back and forth, the good positive takeaway is still no more bombs have been flying and drones have been flying. So let's hope we can maintain that and work something out. I don't know. And you don't know from what you hear because both sides, I know that they were going to be talking today or yesterday. That was canceled. So, but we're waiting. We have this ceasefire extension based on what's going on. So we'll see that. Like I say, super positive today, but fear and greed at 32. Yesterday, the day before, we finally broke out of that 3-month extreme fear, even getting down into the single digits. So, we may not see these lows everyone's calling for. And I mean, it's always possible, but what I don't like is some people that did call the bear market, which was amendable, and they were able to sell and they're sitting on cash. A lot of them are still telling their followers they don't think they should buy in yet. We're going to 50, we're going to 40. I even heard someone say 24 at one point. So that may not happen now, right? So far, we're continuing to move upward. Now it can change in a heartbeat, but something really bad happens. But right now, the trend is we're still bullish. I'd say we're still in a bearish trend, but that could change very quickly. But man, I'm buying the whole time. I don't try and time it. I'm a huge believer in the saying that time in the market is better than timing the market. I've been here for 15 years. I've been a lifelong investor since the first grade, but I'm not saying I'm smart enough to time the market. So I don't try and get in and out. I do some good bots and some things like that, but I like to be deployed. I'm okay. I'm okay taking a little bit of a down trend. And I saw a quote. I didn't save it. I should have by the guy that owns Berkshire Hathaway, the old fart. What's his name? Great investor, but he said you got to be willing to ride out those downtrends once you deploy. And he's famous for buying and holding forever. So I don't know what. Oh, this is probably this. Hong Kong wealth manager. I mentioned this once last week. Bitfire is come out and said they're going to buy 10,000 Bitcoin. So it's almost like the corporations are taking us out of the right here. Corporations are ending the bear market from Bitcoin historian. But yeah, Hong Kong wealth manager Bitfire just announced plans to buy 10,000 Bitcoin, $800 million, almost $1 billion. So we see what Saylor's doing, man. So you probably should be doing the same. NVIDIA and Google Cloud are building AI factories for the real world. They're teaming up to create AI factories that will power agentic and physical AI, using AI to operate robots, vehicles, and real-world machines, not just chatbots. So we've got NVIDIA and Google teaming up to build these data centers, man. It's all about power data centers. North Carolina, shout out to North Carolina. They just introduced the North Carolina Digital Asset Stablecoin Act. State-chartered banks and credit unions can now provide digital asset custody, staking, transaction services. All these states are going to get on board. They're just going to. Absolutely. Oh, market's open for 10 minutes. Let's jump over and see how we're doing. Futures were looking good. How did we really open? Sorry, this is the slowest site, but I assume it's in green. But a lot of ups and downs in the first hour. But yeah, looks like we. Oh no, that's still showing futures. Maybe I just refreshed the page. Let's actually look and see how we're doing. I'm feeling pretty bullish. So I don't think we could ask for too much more given everything that's going on in the world. Yep, we opened up pretty close to what the futures were saying. 0.75. We've got Dow up. That's for the Nasdaq. Dow up 0.78. S&P 600. Gold up 1% at 47.65.90. Crude oil 91.31, up to almost 2%. See how Bitcoin and company are reacting here. Bitcoin 78,475, still going up. Let's look at the hourly, just see if it took a little dip at all. Yeah, doing good, man. 3.4%. I'll take that. Ethereum 2,410, up 4.5%. XRP 145.5, up 1.6. Solana 88.72, up 3.8. So Bitcoin, man, kicking butt and taking names. I'm excited about it. I'll take that any day. Find exactly where we left off here. North Carolina, shout to them. I think they're one of the states with a reserve, kind of a reserve for the state too. There's only 2 or 3 states that are doing that. Almost about over half of them have legislation. At some point, every state, every company, every sovereign wealth fund, every country, every fund person, most people are going to own crypto. This is an indicator, maybe not people are looking at. Bitcoin's Coinbase premium has stayed positive for 14 straight days, making its longest bullish streak since Bitcoin's 126 peak in October. The sustained flip suggests U.S. capital is steadily flowing back into Bitcoin, not just short-term spikes. Historically, extended positive streaks like this have aligned with stronger price momentum and early phase rallies, making this a key signal to watch. So what that means is when Americans are buying, the most Americans, a lot of Americans buy from Coinbase. It's one of the biggest exchanges, by far the biggest U.S. exchange. So when there's a little bit of premium, in other words, when Bitcoin's a little more expensive on Coinbase than it is on other exchanges, that indicates flow, liquidity coming in from U.S. buyers. And we've now seen the 14th straight day. So that means they're buying America. There's a demand there. And historically, it means more upside. SpaceX now is coming in at 1.7 trillion IPO, world record attempt late June. So Catalyst, recent XAI merger, plus Starlink global dominance, seeking $75 billion in new funding. The largest public debut in history is coming. So, yeah, had lunch with one of our largest investors in our fund, good friend. We do a lot of crypto stuff together. He's a merchant guy and in the merchanting business and credit card business, and a pretty big real estate developer. And he got in on the early pre-IPO on SpaceX. So I think that's a good place to be, and I'll be trying to get in if I can. I say all the time on the Bitcoin morning show that it's going on almost 5 years now, between 4 and 5 years. I don't know exactly how long. Might be 5 years already. I don't know, but more than 4 years. Anyway, we always talk about supply shock, and right here we see Bitcoin supply on exchanges is dropping. Monthly and annual data shows a clear downtrend. Less available BTC equals more scarcity. There's demand and there's supply. When there's no supply, that lack of supply or increased demand is what drives prices upwards. So, man, it's time to be buying. That's why I'm against some of these KOLs, some of these influencers telling their people it's not time yet. Man, if you're not in the buy zone, I think if to me, I'm always in the buy zone, just like Sailor, right? I'm always buying all I can because I think long term it's going to be so much higher. But man, if you're holding back now, waiting for it to go lower, you might be disappointed. You might get your chance, but you might be disappointed. I don't think it's smart, but that's me. Justin Sun files lawsuit against World Liberty Financial, accusing the team of freezing his tokens, stripping voting rights, and threatening to burn them without justification. Listen, I was an early investor in World Liberty. I got out because of the trickery done by Justin Sun, some of the stuff he did. I believe he was doing some underhanded stuff. That's why they froze his token. However, I don't blame him for trying to get it back, but he was definitely selling tokens that he shouldn't have, or bringing in new tokens that were liquid to his exchange so he could sell them against and knowing he could replace them with his stacks. So I'm sure that'll get resolved, but I think he started it, but whatever. Probably at this point, World Liberty Fi having a little bit of issues. UK's, this is very dystopian. I don't know the details. This does not sound good to me. UK's FCA carried out its first crackdown on illegal peer-to-peer crypto trading, raiding 8 London sites with its HMRC and organized crime. Now, peer-to-peer, isn't that the whole title of Satoshi's white paper, peer-to-peer cash or whatever for the world? So what do they consider? What do they consider peer-to-peer? Was there criminal stuff going on, or people just exercising their right to use decentralized blockchain? I don't know, man, but sounds dystopian to me, and they're making all the wrong choices when it comes into crypto and free speech, all that stuff. So, man, it does not sound good to me. However, I don't know all the details. Worth looking into. Yeah, you're just saying you can't transact, but then again, we have the Samurai Wallet guys sitting in jail right now. They should be out, man. That pisses me off. For what? Writing code so people could, exercise their rights. I don't know. To me, code, free speech, freedom to transact, all kind of tied together. Okay, my guy Crypto, a big influencer on X here, saying don't be bullish on Bitcoin now. Justifiably bullishness is just one weekly close above 78,000. And I agree, 78,000, a 30-day high, very, very critical. But yeah, if we can close above that, big time. But don't forget, we have this looming war out here, right? So let's not get too bullish. This next report, something I've known for a while because we've done a lot of talk with CoinZoom to partnering with banks and stuff, explored some of those things. So I've looked a lot of this data. But European investors would switch banks for crypto access. A Boris Stuttgart digital study found 35% of investors in Germany, Italy, Spain, and France would consider changing banks for better investment services. That's why these banks, it's like jump on the Bitcoin standard or the train or get left behind. More evidence, more reason why we need to be stacking these blue chips now. New York suing Coinbase and Gemini. I believe this is to do with their Polymarket, things either through Polymarket or through what is it? Kalshi. Basically said it's illegal investment. It may be, and I see some states coming out against it. That'll work itself out. But New York is a freaking embarrassment. Thank God I sold my place there. Honestly, they're too heavy-handed. They're overall too heavy-handed. Like no one can operate there. They're at a huge disadvantage. I can't stand them. Now, I'm not saying in this case it isn't justified. It's a fine line between gambling and information. I use it on the show here almost daily for the good information it gives me. But yeah, I heard today too that Polymarket's going to get into derivatives. My brother, Mr. On a Heine community, I'm on their space every morning. Probably why I'm yawning right now. That's your fault, Mr. Heine, because it's 4:30 my time. I jump on the space, and great community, the Heine coin community, great. Like they're only about a year old. Great community, great bunch of people. Very much about education and put some great information out there. I would encourage anyone looking for a community, looking for alpha, looking for a place to chill, to join the Heine community. They're just really great people, and they're really putting out good educational content, man. So I appreciate those guys, and they're always supporting my show here, the GM morning show. They actually put it on their calendar. They send out every day. So I appreciate those guys and would encourage you to look in. They've got a toy and Heine token, and they got some NFTs and great little community. But anyway, let's great day today, man. I'm bullish. Sorry, I'm yawning once again. It's probably because I'm on a 4:30 a.m. space, hanging with the Heine boys. But listen, 78,000. Wow, 658. Now we're 3.7. Let's look at the hourly. Look at the hourly. Look at this, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm bullish. Hell of a hump day today. Thanks for joining me. In about 10 minutes, we're going to have the GM Bitcoin Morning Show. Feel free to jump over there. Appreciate everyone here who's listening to me live here on X. Looks like I've got about 42 people live. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the live listeners over on YouTube as well. I'm also uploading it to a podcast, to a bunch of podcasts. I don't know if even anyone's ever listened to one, but I'm doing it anyway and I know some people. I want to reach as many people as we can with these messages and information, and hopefully the real main purpose of this Opening Bell Crypto Show is just to tell you everything that happened when you're sleeping and what's affecting the markets. And man, today is one of those good days. There's not all that many big days like this. There's usually only about 12 to 15 a year. And we've had like 3 this month, 3 or 4, at least 3 solid big days. 3.7% jump in Bitcoin. Give me a freaking break, man. Stack that Bitcoin, man, and all your other things that you like. But man, appreciate everyone joining me here. Feel free to join me on the GM Bitcoin Morning Show here in about 8 minutes, man. But appreciate all you guys. Let's celebrate. Let's enjoy. Happy Hump Day. We'll see what happens. Well, hopefully we have a diplomatic solution to this, and we're able to get a peaceful thing. No, I don't want to see more bombs fly. Man, looks like we might be a little bit frozen here. Hopefully everyone can hear me. But anyway, have a great day, everyone, and we'll see everyone tomorrow morning. Hopefully it'll be another good, glorious day. If it'll let me in the stream here.